Hey guys, how are you? My name's Yan. I'm a real estate agent, and today I'm at my own house. I usually film at my Home Life Frontier office, but today I'm filming a little bit late. And my kids are away from home, so I thought it's a really good time to just film it at home. So here I am, and today I just want to talk a little bit about this market in general. So let's start with resales. Resales are doing well. Surprisingly, they're doing really well. And I have clients who are looking to buy around Danforth area. So that's between Woodbine and Green Riverdale North, Riverdale South, like Leslieville, any in that criteria, even to the beaches, but beaches are a little bit too expensive. But we are looking at beaches triangle as well. And why do people want to go that area? So location's good. There's a lot of cafes, lots of restaurants, lots of park and community centers, just everything in general. And of course, you can't forget about schools. Schools there are very good. Public schools vary in terms of ranking, but the high school, they're great. There are top ranking schools, to name a few: Riverdale, College Institute, Monarch, they're all there. So people want to go to that area, especially because you're working downtown. You want to be close to downtown as much as possible. You also need to move up. You have a family, your family's growing, so you can't live in a condo anymore. So you're trying to find something that's close by as much as possible. And Riverdale, a Danforth area, Woodbine, and the beaches triangle, it all fits the bill. Leslieville fits the bill. So that's why everyone's going there. And I'm shocked to see that the prices are going up. Any properties, any semi detached, if it has a parking, if it looks decent enough, they're getting sold $1.1 million right now as of April. I've seen a townhouse that, from my perspective, was around $1.2 million, but they had over 14 offers. And I think somebody was desperate or somebody was fed up. I think they put an offer and it was sold for $1.3 million, and they had no condition. It was sold as is. And I was able to see the inspection report, and there was water damage in the basement. There's some water damages, some issues with water, but I guess the new buyers couldn't care less, so they just bought it. So congratulations to the buyer, to the seller, buyer, and the agent, the seller's agent, to successfully bring those offers together and make it. But whereas even in that area, if you have no parking, it's not as moving as well. So right now, people are buying if it's good product and it's something that you need. And right now, everybody needs parking. Nobody's buying properties without parking. All those, there are definitely some properties that are selling without parking, but most of them that I've seen in that area, if you don't have parking, it's not moving so well. That's that. Just going back to the Riverdale, Woodbine, Lumsden, and Woodbine area, it's getting to the point that it's starting to hit the peak prices in some places. And actually today, I did see a property that got sold. It's Riverdale North, and it's a semi 1340 square feet. It was sold for $2 million. Comparable sales around there was 1.8, 1.9 for townhouses or semis that had more square feet. But this one, it was renovated well, but it was sold for $2 million. Yeah, I would say again, I think that's another loud outlier. I think somebody was fed up with the market and somebody got emotional. I think that's why they put additional money into the property and got it, and they bought it. Um, what I think is important is that as a real estate agent, it's important that you do your CMA, and it's important that you're a third person at the end of the day. You don't want to have you do want to give your personal point of view and your everything to the buyer or seller to educate them as much as possible. But while you're on it, I think it's important that you want to stay as third person as much as possible. Don't not getting too emotional, because if you get emotional as well as buyers together or sellers together, I think you do some irrational things at times. And I think it's important that you want to make sure that you keep your cool and you don't do things that are emotional triggering to the point that you overpay by far. But again, that's my perspective. Somebody else may have looked at the property and saw more value than I did. So if they did, I'm sorry if I said anything bad to you. I apologize. While on the other news, I also went to Kaivan's South Lake, Oakville pre-construction as well. It went great. There were a lot of realtors, And here's the thing: they were selling for $1.2 million detached property on 45-foot lot, and their square footage is around 2,600 square feet to 3,000 square feet. It's a big lot, but here's a little catch: it includes the basement. It's finished basement, and they include the basement square footage to the footage of the advertised for the square footage. That's one. They have POTL fee. So it's for snow removal, garbage removal, and road repairs, anything like that. That's there. I think it's $150 for townhouses, $160 for detached, and the lot sizes are smaller. Traditionally, these days, you're looking at lots around 45 frontage, 40 frontage, 36 frontage, 31 frontage, and around 80, 90, 70 depth. I think this one is smaller than 70 feet depth, so it's the land size is a lot smaller. And also on top of that, you're paying a lot for premium for any ravine side as well. It is back into trails. It is back into a river, Bronte Creek. Because of that, there's a lot of premium to it. I think you pay up starting from like $200,000 for a ravine lot to up to $400,000. It's a massive, massive number. But here's another part. Whereas a lot of developers are saying they're not sure how things are going to work out, they don't want to commit to giving you full GST, HST rebate. Kaivan is actually saying they're willing to just do it for you and get that GST rebate for you. So they're reducing $130K out of your purchase price as well. So they're doing great on that aspect as well. So they're doing great in that aspect as well. I think it's going to be a good launch. I think a lot of people, the price is good. You can't get any detached property that is anyhow decent in Oakville for $1.5 million. I was there probably 3-4 weeks ago. I was house hunting with my clients, and we were looking at Oakville detached properties under $1.5 million, and we saw like 15 properties. And let me tell you, they're not in a good shape. They're fixer uppers. They need like tender love and care in those properties. And tender love and care means like more than $100,000, $200,000 in renovation. That's a lot of money. So already, if you put the money, that becomes 1.7, 1.8. Depending on how long this construction goes, it might be even more. So when I saw that, I was like, oh shoot, it's not worth it. But now that you're looking at this not freehold, detached property that's 45 frontage with 4 garage parking and 2 parking pads outside, it becomes kind of reasonable. If you really look at it, you can buy a detached property for $1.3 million, $1.3 million, and that's around 2,600 square feet. And I think it's not bad, to be honest. So it definitely has appeal, and it's not like it's going to appreciate in value significantly more down the road, because obviously you're looking at land, and land is important. Every value goes up. I think the home values goes up because the land has more value, and that's why. And of course, if it's a brand new house, you're also looking at the square footage of the property and how the finishes of the property. So really, if you're looking at it, if you don't want any front yard, backyard, and you just want to have a good living space, I think it works well in that aspect. And there is no other alternative for 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 realm. You're looking at townhouses. You're not looking for detached. So honestly, it has its own market. I think it could definitely have its own market share, even down the road. As long as the sellers are not greedy, I think that place will still retain its value regardless. And I think it would be a very, very niche market for that all time. And I think if I had the money, I think I'll buy it. Not us, but I don't have that much money, and and for me, I myself, I'm looking for houses overall as well. So I'm looking in that realm, not in Oakville. But anybody who's looking at Oakville, I think it's a great, great, great time to buy. I think it's a great not great time, great project to buy. Yeah, I'm moving along. There's a rental market is just rental market. I don't think it's doing so well. There are a lot of condos still coming out into the market right now. And 100 Queen Street East just opened up, so there's a lot of units coming up. There's 634 Church, that's around Church and Charles. Yeah, Church and Charles. That's popped up as well. So they're really busy there. There's a lot of units, and both of them look great. Between the two, I would say the one in Charles and Church is better, just because it's almost done with the construction, whereas 100 Queen East, I think, is still under construction. So even today, while I was doing showings, you can tell that they were doing something next unit, and it's construction things, so it's loud. So that's why I think the one in the Church and Charles is better in that sense. That's the only reason. Um, what else? What else? I think the market is doing well. I think spring market is actually doing better than I thought it would do. Usually for the past couple of years, January, February market has been always better. But I think this year, I'm not sure because the spring came late or anything like that, or winter was so long. It has a lot more action going on right now. And here's the thing though, it's not an action for everywhere. It's action for some pockets of the places of Toronto, some pockets in other neighborhoods, other areas. So you might be in one of those other places where there is not a lot of activity, and you're looking at this video. My listing's not doing so well. There's no activity in my listing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it like that, but depending on the location, depending on the what kind of property you have, what price you're offering, that makes a big difference. So yeah, what else am I thinking in life? Yeah, I'm still busy. I'm going around a lot of pre-construction sites. I went to Mattamy at ninth. That's at Mississauga. While I was there, I was also getting Hawthorne East as well. So I got that information. I went to New Glen like twice to see if they are selling anything or if there's new release of price or release of the lots. I went to South Cal for a couple of times to see if there's any lots available, if there's any release in prices as well. I have a worksheet there right now at South Cal. Union Glen, I'm still working on it. There's still a couple of people who are interested in that area. So I'm keeping my ears to the ground for that one. What else? Oh yeah, there's also Chateau 9 townhouses. They're also selling that at Treasure Hill as well. I didn't go there. I think it's a good project if you're looking for townhouses under 700, 900. I think it's a good price. Just not for me or my clients at this time. Good price, yeah. And right. Oh yeah. So talking about pre-construction, I heard that some of the townhouses, some of the condos in downtown, it's inventory units that are selling well, and some of them are sold out. So 11 Yorkville, they sold out completely. I think 8 Cumberland, they still have some. And I heard a lot of units at 8 Wellesley East West were also sold as well. I think they sold more than 20 units so far. That's inventory. So things are moving. Things are moving here and there. So surprisingly, it's doing well. And a lot of people are also buying Concord Canada House as well. I've seen inventory units being consumed there as well. I know that you may think I'm crazy talking about like pre-construction and people are buying, but there are people that's buying and they have their own reasons. They have their own thought process why they're buying as well. So I can't comment on why they're buying on that. Eventually, condo prices eventually will go up at one point. You just don't know when. And right now, there's a lot of inventory still coming out, a lot of units that are still being released to the market this year, next year. And after that, it will start to dry up very quickly. Then after 2, 3 years later, there should be just a couple of projects that are still finishing up, and maybe just a couple of projects that may be going for sale, like that may launch as well. There's gonna be definitely not a lot of condos later down the road. And it doesn't mean it's because we don't need condos. It's just because these projects are just too expensive for any buyers to buy at this time. They're still like any new projects. They're like selling for $1,800, $1,900, $2,000, and so it really depends on where you want to buy. I think location has a big impact on it. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's what's happening in the market for me. I am working constantly. I am doing things. I am meeting clients. I'm doing a lot of phone calls as well. But other than that, it's just same old, same old. I feel like it is in a way people are starting to really think about whether they want to buy or not. I think, and those people who are at fence, I think some of those people are starting to come and starting to look at the good areas first. So that's why it's like that. Oh yeah, and while I was talking, just going back to pre-construction as well, the two Poet Drive, they sold more than 40%, and they are starting the construction. And I've seen the price. It's like 2,200 square feet for $3.3 million. Yeah, so it's still more than $2,000 per square feet. And it's in a prestige neighborhood. It's at Bridle Path. It is what it is, so it's not like a big deal. Yeah, that's where things are at right now. Things are slowly moving, slowly but surely. Wherever you are, and where if you're listing property or trying to sell your house or trying to buy a property, things are starting to move. And if you're if you can, plant your ground, plant your feet, and stay firm, eventually your house will get to the point that it actually will sell. And I think a lot of people will be able to see a shift in market eventually. It's just not now. It's only there for markets where people are wanting that area. That's why we always say location matters. And sometimes, even when you're buying, there's a difference of like 10, 20, 30K when you're buying initially, but that 10, 20, 30K might become something more like 200, $300 million difference in the future. That's why location matter. And I think it's important that if you're working with an agent who understand that concept and not just think about purchase as main goal, but also think about for clients' future as well when they're trying to sell down the road. Is it going to be somewhat of ease to sell? Is it going to be somewhat of more appreciation down the road compared to site A compared to site B? Because your clients are always looking not just site A, they're looking at site B as well. Those are the things that you might want to consider and actually think about. I think that's all I want to talk about today. It's moving. Things are slowly moving and slowly getting better. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel all the time. And I feel like we're getting there. But it's getting there for towns, semis, and detached. I think condos still it will take a lot more time. You need to consume all those supply that's still coming within this year, next year, and whatever inventory that we have in the market. And after that, that's consumed, we'll have appreciation down the road. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a good day. Bye.